Good evening to all. Thank you all for coming for this joint press conference from ESG and DFF and PIB. We are all here, and as you are all aware, the 52nd IFFI is going to start very soon, and we all thought that it would be appropriate if we have this press conference and we can engage with all of you. I think we'll start with Sir from DFF. Chaitanya Prasad sir is here. Sir can give a brief overview of the festival and what we can expect, and then we can take it forward. Sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon. In architecture, as far as the 52nd IFFI is concerned, the broad theme of IFFI, everyone knows, talking about Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years and 60 years is Goa's liberation. So broad themes on which the whole agenda moves and the programming, etc., has been done. Before I commence, I just want you to to just hear this announcement made by the Honorable Minister Anurag Singh Thakur sir. He made this announcement in Shimla. Many of you. The first point. The second agenda would, or rather, the point of focus would be, as you would have read. For the first time, we are having, the second time actually, we are having a hybrid film festival, which means virtual as well as we have segments where there is actual screening on ground zero, and we are quite overwhelmed with the kind of response that we have received. As far as the hybrid model is concerned, and especially the virtual segment, I'm sure you would have seen it, it has appeared in papers, that is for the first time that we are having a kind of a partnership with major OTT players. So the point is, the first time in the history of the International Film Festival of India, we are having major OTT players coming in and participating. They are Netflix, Amazon, Z5, Viacom, and all of the major players. So what are they going to do? They're going to have their releases, they're going to be a part of master classes, they are going to get their celebrities across. So it's going to be a perfect jugalbandi as far as the 52nd IFFI is concerned, where we'll see the 52nd, we will see the OTT platforms in full force. So that is the second point. Just for statistical mention, 148 films from about 73 countries. We are also having the BRICS Film Festival on the sidelines of IFFI, 5 major BRICS nations, so we have a special package for that. We have already announced in the past the 2 major, rather global cinematic giants who are going to be the recipients of the first Satyajit Ray Centenary Award, Esteban Zabo and Martin Scorsese. So they will be conferred the award this year at IFFI. Unfortunately, they will not be present, but we are getting video messages from both of these icons who are recognized globally to come and talk about their acceptance as far as the award is concerned. We have the Indian official Oscar nomination, whose Hunger, directed by debutant Vinu Tharaj, will be shown as this year's part of the Indian panorama. Again, coming back to statistics for the interest of all, we have about 12 world premieres, we have about 7 international premieres, 12 world premieres, 7 international premieres, 26 Asia premieres, and we have about 64 India premieres. This is one aspect of what we wanted to tell you. This time, IFFI received a record of 624 films from 90. Cinema is concerned, the feature film in the Indian panorama section, it's appeared, but I just wanted to do a quick recall for all colleagues here. It's the feature film Simkhor, a Dimasa language film directed by Aimi Barua, the first ever film made in Dimasa, dialect from Assam. So that is one part of the bandwidth that we have. Non-feature film is Ved, The Visionary, directed by Rajiv Prakash. That constitutes the opening film is The King of All the World, The King of All the World, directed by Carlos Saura. So that is the opening film, which will be screened on the 20th at Inox. Unfortunately, Kala Academy is not with us, but hopefully next time we'll have it in a more grand and splendor kind of situation. And Kala Academy has been very close as far as IFFI is concerned. It's one of those iconic monuments which we offer to delegates who visit IFFI every year. That's one part. The mid-fest film is Power of Dog, directed by Jane Campion, who won the award for the best director at the Venice Film Festival. So that's the mid-fest film. I must admit that that film has come to us through Netflix, and they facilitated the India premiere for that. Closing film is a hero directed by Asghar Farhadi, the Grand Prix winner at the Conference Festival. Why we say this is we just want to give to you a flavor of the kind of programming and films that are coming in as far as the International Film Festival of India is concerned, and the recognition of the IFFI platform, which we do in collaboration with EST and DFF, as far as getting films from abroad and presenting the best as far as Indian and world cinema is concerned. There would be about 18 specially curated films which would be a part of India at 75. That's one part of the story. We have announced earlier the international jury, so the jury is coming, so that's good news for her. Rakshan Banitamad, the Iranian filmmaker who is the chairperson, she's flying in tomorrow evening. The other important thing is that this institute in Paris, Gobelin School of L'Image at Paris, they are going to conduct master classes. And this is the first time that they're coming to India. So 3 days of spectacular master classes. Anyone can register. Students are registered for free on the virtual platform. We, as a step up from last year, we are going to have roughly about number of films, about 45 to 50 films which will be screened on the hybrid platform, or rather the virtual platform. So that's exceedingly very important. Other piece of information, around 30 films have been shortlisted which featured in other festivals, which would be a part of the International Film Festival in the festival Kaleidoscope and the Panorama section. So people who've been covering IFFI would know it very well as to what all we have. We will give you a press release where we will talk about the homages that would be given at the 52nd IFFI for all those eminent personalities who are unfortunately not with us. Dilip Kumar ji, Sumitra Bhave, Buddhadev Das Gupta, Sanchari, Vijay, Surekha Sekri, Jean-Paul Belmondo, Bertrand Tavernier, Christopher Plummer, Jean-Claude Carriere. And special segment just for interest of everyone out here, we have a special package on as a tribute to the iconic Bond, James Bond, Sean Connery. So that is there, and one of his most, what should I say, films which every generation loves to watch is Goldfinger. So that would also be there. Before I end, I just want to highlight one important aspect, is that the Honorable Minister had taken the initiative of connecting generations, film buffs, film artists, film followers, students of cinema on an initiative called Creative Minds, 75 Creative Minds. So this was an idea which was floated by the Honorable Minister, where what we've done is that we have, and I'm sure you read about it, it's been publicized fairly well on social media, we invited applications from all over India to be a part of IFFI. So you had to be there. The protocol is there, so I'm sure you look it up. It's not, let me not waste your time. You had to be under 35 years of age, and there were identified segments as far as social media, as far as filmmaking was concerned, the film verticals. And we have been overwhelmed by the kind of response that we have received from the length and breadth of the country. It has never been done. So this was the first time this was done. We received over 400 plus applications, and from across the country people presented, and it was done by a jury which did the preliminary screening, and then we had a grand jury which was headed by the eminent lyricist Mr. Prasun Joshi and film writer. So he, along with the other set of people who were there, it's already been given out in the press, and they were all eminent personalities. And so this set of people who did the first preliminary evaluation, and then the did that evaluation. And for information, ladies and gentlemen, all 75 young creative minds of Gen Next India, as far as cinema is concerned, are coming over to IFFI for the first time. They will be our guests of DFF and EFF concerned, because these 75 young minds who've been invited are people who represent the cinema of the next generation. And that was one idea which the Honourable Minister had, that he intended to take the power of youth in cinema forward. So this is the first edition that we are doing it, and we are absolutely overwhelmed by the kind of response that we have seen. I think I have spoken quite a bit to give you a flavor of what the 52nd IFFI is all about. And
so I request that if you want to add something up.
Well, good afternoon. And our responsibility is to provide the required infrastructure in Goa, and we have been successfully doing this for past few years. And today we are ready with all the required infrastructure in place. Decor part of it we take care of. At the same time, preparations at the opening and closing ceremony, it is on warfront. All the works are as scheduled. I may not be correct to say that as scheduled, because of the rains some of the things are disrupted, but even then we will be able to catch up all the schedules, and we are confident of having a good IFFI this year. As a part of street decor and main decor, ESG, and everything is in perfect. We look after the hospitality, we look after the air travel, we look after the human resource and manpower required for this. We shall be taking care of this pandemic also, whatever SOPs, and we shall take care of every guest that we receive here should be safe for another 10 days, and they will go back with good memories. And that's all. We are ready, and we are all set to welcome all the international and national guests here with up to their satisfaction.
Ma'am, from PIB side, anything?
Thank you ESG and thank you DFF for calling us also here to be part of this Curtain Raiser press conference. And as always, we work very closely with ESG and DFF to kind of provide extra information dissemination campaign as far as the IFFI is concerned. So this time also we are one pit stop point for information dissemination as far as the film festivals are concerned. We have opened up a media center there for the friends of the media, for all of you who can come and use it, and we are there. We'll be ready with the schedules, whatever DFF has planned, and we'll be giving you press releases, photos, etc., whatever you need. Anything extra that you need, I'm always there at the media center. Do let me know, and follow us on PIB Goa and PIB India Twitter handles for latest updates on IFFI, whatever you need to know. And that's all from my side, and over to you.
yeah, can I just add? Sorry, I forgot to. Yeah, because there's so much of information. We lost one of the brightest stars of the film industry recently. It was a huge shock to everyone who follows cinema, especially who follow Kannada cinema. We lost Puneeth Rajkumar in very, very unfortunate circumstances. He is definitely a part of our homage. I mean, we pay respect to the man who created waves as far as cinema is concerned, and created a narrative which is unmatched and unparalleled. So Puneeth Rajkumar is within our hearts and mind, and we offer our tributes to this wonderful star. Finally, I think at times you would like to know as to what is the kind of star presence. I can assure you that the star presence will be fairly good. It's quite star-studded, and it will be a talked about kind of presence of prominent film stars to be a part of the opening ceremony. So I would stop at that.
Any names?
Well, the show is being anchored by Karan Johar and Manish Paul. You have Ritesh Deshmukh. You have Rashi Khanna, Janelia Deshmukh, Moni Roy, Shraddha Kapoor, Ranveer Singh, Salman Khan.
Who is the chief guest, sir?
Yes. As I mentioned, the Lifetime Achievement Award being conferred on Member of Parliament and the Indian Personality of the Year. Hema Malini ji is coming down. She'll be here. So Hema ji is very much there. So this is the kind of, what should I say, star component or prominent personalities, and there are many more.
Any international stars?
Well, as I said, we have issued roughly about 40 tickets so far because of COVID protocol, etc. We are getting the jury. Our jury, all of them are going to be physically present, excepting one who had to back out from England because of some personal commitment. The chairperson is flying in. She's coming to India for the first time. Who's an icon in cinema from Iran, as I mentioned her name. And the other members of the jury. There are quite a few stars. We'll give you the names. We'll give it out. So about 12 of them are coming around the opening ceremony. What's happened is because of the clearance of visas, in the second half of the festival from 24th to 28th, that is when they will be available. Because of COVID protocols, etc. And those things we can't avoid. But yes, we are quite enthused by the response. We roughly had about 80 odd confirmations for people wanting to come to India for IFFI, and we've issued roughly about 40 to 42 tickets. I just going by memory jogging that this is what it is. And then, so let's see. You have it's a good combination.
So thank you, sir. As you have got the briefing, but basically we all have to understand that we are slowly, so 51st IFFI was just post-COVID, but we still had a COVID wave after that. So we are slowly going back to the regular IFFI, not on so much scale. We have both the hybrid model this time, but we will still be having some limitations in scale, even for the opening ceremony, even for the closing ceremony. Some limitations in number, some limitations in scale. So we are taking all the necessary precautions. So I think this is a turning point in the entire IFFI, that now post-COVID we are coming out. Goa also, as you are all realizing, tourism, there's a big boom that's happening. So this is the step in the right direction. We are moving towards normalcy, but we should also consider the fact that it will not be completely on the scale that it was going to be previously. So some restrictions would absolutely be there.
How many delegates have you registered?
So delegate registration, we have received around now 3,000 applications, and we can say that around 2,000 we have confirmed. So we also want to request all, basically we have to take it in a baby step. So we are going to become bigger than 51st this time, and then we will take it as we see forward, and next time it can come back to complete normalcy.
Which are the OTT platforms left?
I had mentioned that to you, perhaps.
Netflix.
Amazon Prime, Netflix,
Sony Live.
Sony is there, Z5, all
Voot,
of them.
Voot
Voot,
also.
yeah, all of them are there. What they have done is that they've distributed it over a period of time. It has come out earlier in the PIB press releases as to who's doing what. So there are releases that would be there first time. Family Man is going to have a masterclass. Oh yeah.
So we must
They will-
recognize, we must recognize. So if he is also changing with the times,
Yeah.
realizing that OTT is the future, but it's not competing with theatre and cinema per se, the experience of cinema. So I think it's exclusive. Maybe it may be eating into cable per se, but the experience of cinema, the magic of cinema, I think coming in the festival, I think it's complementary, and it's wonderful that all these OTT platforms are here and coming together with IFFI. I think they recognize that there is enough space for both to be together.
Can you share any other highlights of master classes?
Well, if you want details, I'll give it to you
I think
because
sir, we can
because-
release the detail.
Yeah,
I
we'll
think
give
as
you
press
the
release,
details.
otherwise it would.
We'll give you the details. You see, because we have quite a big list.
We
It's
have a
running
lot
about
of-
20 pages. You see, so yeah, I have a lot
We'll
of
be
info.
issuing some press releases. Don't
Yeah,
worry about that.
yeah. So
I just want to ask one question. Since the you said about the tribute part, the one of the Goans who have expired in April, Mr. Vaman Bosle, is there any tribute for him since he's a Goan editor?
well, sir, you have flagged this to us. I mean, I'm sure. I to reply to you instantly. I think I can just check back and come back to you. Because there's a whole list of the houses. Yeah.
So I have three questions actually. One is regarding international competition. There are three Indian movies this time in the international competition section. And the question is always asked why we can't have a neutral jury, because since there is one member from India also. That is another thing. Another question is
Can I request you to come little in front so that we can mic?
Can you hear what, sir?
No, can you come
Okay.
a little forward, please?
Little
Thoda
forward, please.
सामने आ जाइए, please.
But you want my question, sir?
Yeah, you were talking about the international
If you
jury.
can
Yeah, why
repeat,
we
sir.
can't have neutral jury is one thing. And are there any science-related films that will be screened during the festival? And there is one request because there is in the homage section. Recently, one of the top film editor passed away from Goa, Vaman Bosle.
Yes, sir.
So there has been some request. Is there any chance of it being screened?
Well, you see, it's. I mean, as far as the neutral jury is concerned, the international section is curated by the juries, right? So we have no role to play, as always. Now, as far as the Indian representative is concerned, you have one who's there, a part of Neil Madhav Panda. My name is Kalikita. He is the person who represents the Indian component of the 5-member jury that we have. And the jury is going to have physical screening. As far as what you just mentioned about the eminent filmmaker from Goa, I'll just check. As far as you're making a request, it should be there. If he's not there, let's be upfront. We would reach out to ESG to give us the volume, the body of work, which is very prominent, eminent, and you could make a suggestion to us. There's no reason why he cannot be included. There's no reason why.
And one question you had regarding the
Yeah,
science.
Is there any science-related film? that
I'm
will be
sure there are. I mean, it would be difficult to mention which film,
Okay.
but I'm sure there would be films which have a science-based theme or narrative.
And on another note, you will be aware, Honorable CM has recently, the curtain raiser for the India International Science Festival was also done, which is the premier such festival, which also has a science film festival component built in. That's from 10th to 12th December. So that will also be taken
13.
place.
10 to 13.
That-
So what is the budget for this time?
The ESG budget or the DFF budget?
Both two are.
So I think it's very early for us to say. We are on the same lines as what was there last year. So I cannot give the exact this thing. We have taken approvals.
Can you give us an approximate figure?
It will be somewhere around 16 to 18 CR, whatever government of Goa. But actuals last time, for example, we take budgetary approvals. Our expenditure last time was around 11 to 12. So it will all depend upon the actuals.
And what is
So,
the ratio about the breakup? How much is the DFF?
this is the government of Goa component, the DFF component.
No, as far as the government of India is concerned, there are certain responsibilities which the government of India does perform, and there are elements which the ESG does. As far as the government of government of India is concerned, that we had pitched it to about 9.5 crores, right? But let me tell you, successive years that we have done, whatever kind of allocation that is given, we are able to. It has not been based on actual. In terms of the total spend, as Tariq just pointed out, it's based on the actual spend. We need to have an envelope where we don't feel constrained. We are able to get the best as far as the festival is concerned. So, that's how it is.
There is a trend towards decreasing expenditure.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
in fact, if you see the previous editions or this, it even used to go to 25 CR and all. So even the government of Goa expenditure has been coming down year-wise. That there has been a trend towards it, more efficiency, and we work together with the responsibilities between DFF and government of Goa are very well defined. We want to give a good festival also. At the end of the day, it has to, the status that it enjoys, we have to also ensure that. So that is how we are working, and we are also working to optimize on expenditure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thanks.